That was awesome.
Okay, wait, where's Charlie?
A U.S. Air Force captain named Irons is sent out to take a look at an alien spaceship that has just entered U.S. airspace. When Irons sees the ship, he sounds shocked and reports to the command center that there's something weird about it. A senior officer then tells Irons to stand down and return to base, but he refuses to do this because he wants to know what they're really dealing with. After a while, the spaceship crashes near a site where a man named Jack is camping with his wife and son, Lily and Charlie. Lily quickly grabs Charlie to ensure that he's safe, and Jack tells her to call 911 while he goes to check what happened. On the way, Jack nearly hits Irons, who is now walking aimlessly on the road. Jack quickly gets out of his van to check up on Irons, and he asks what happened. Irons then introduces himself and says that he had a collision. Jack asks what he collided with, but Irons doesn't have words to describe what he saw.
Charlie!
When they get to the crash site, Jack looks shocked to see the alien spaceship, which Irons calls a UAP. Jack asks what he's talking about, and Irons says it's an unidentified aerial phenomenon. Suddenly, a glowing ball pops out of the UAP and begins to scan the area. After this, the ball snubs Irons and moves toward Jack, who looks confused. Before Jack realizes what's happening, the spaceship's control system mentions that the ball has now accepted him as a guardian. Jack doesn't know what this means, but as the UAP self-destructs and causes an explosion, the ball creates a shield to protect him while Irons gets blown away. Jack then figures out that he's holding a special piece of alien technology that can give him powers. With this, he becomes a superhero called the Guard, and he helps reduce crime around the world. However, this affects his relationship with his family, and Lily eventually asks for a divorce. Meanwhile, Irons starts making videos talking about the Guard and his special power source. He also calls on the CEO of a weapons company named Argon to help him with resources so he can find the Guard's power source. 10 years after the events at the crash site,
We both know he's gonna cancel.
Charlie is now in high school, and he happens to be a big fan of the Guard, even though he's unaware that it's his dad. During a class presentation about different energy sources, Charlie seems more interested in talking about the Guard's power source. Almost immediately, he gets interrupted by a new student named Maya, who enters the classroom. Charlie looks shocked because he knows Maya, and the teacher mentions that she's a transfer student from Turkey. Later that day, Charlie and his best friend, Berger, head out for a baseball game. While walking toward the bench, the boys see Maya sitting with Lizzie, who is Berger's crush. Lizzie and Maya used to be best friends before Maya left the country with her mom, and they seem happy to be back together.
Hurry up.
Elsewhere, Charlie asks if Berger has asked Lizzie out to the upcoming dance, but he says he's waiting until the last minute, shortly after the game begins, and the other team quickly takes a big lead. With nothing left to fight for, Charlie's coach decides to sub in Charlie as the next pitcher. Charlie looks surprised and thinks it's a mistake, but the coach says it's not. As Charlie then heads out, he realizes that he's up against a scary batter named Forrest. Charlie doesn't seem scared, but as he throws the ball, Forrest hits it back at him and he falls to the ground. After the game, as Charlie heads home with Berger and his brother, Big Mac, he looks disappointed because his video is now trending online as a meme. When he arrives home, he sees his mom watching the news about another Guard sighting. Lily then asks if he has packed his things for the trip to his dad's place. Charlie says he hasn't because he knows that Jack will cancel again. As she then talks to Jack on the phone, Charlie watches the news and sees Argon being interviewed about the losses his company has faced since the Guard started fighting crime.
I got this Nintendo Switch.
Argon seems pissed about this, and he says that people should be worried about the possibility of the Guard having a bad day. Meanwhile, Jack considers changing his plans again, but Lily gets him to stick with it because Charlie really wants to see him. Shortly after, she drops Charlie off at Jack's house, but he doesn't look happy to see his dad. As he enters the house, Lily tells Jack that he needs to spend more time with their son. She adds that there are more important things in life than work, and that Jack has has to talk to Charlie. After she leaves, Jack says sorry to Charlie for missing his baseball game. He then gives Charlie an old baseball glove as a present. As Charlie sees it, he says he can't use it because he's a lefty, and Jack says sorry again. He then asks if there's anything he can do instead, and Charlie says he wants them to go camping again, like old times. As Jack says he'll try to work something out, he gives Charlie a Nintendo Switch.
I'm a lefty, Dad.
Shortly after, they spend time playing together, but Jack suddenly gets a call. When he's done with the call, he tells Charlie that he has to head out for work. Charlie looks really pissed, and Jack says he has something important to attend to. Charlie asks if it's more important than him, but Jack says it's not. He adds that when he gets back in a couple of days, he'll explain some things to Charlie so that he'll understand what's really happening. Charlie doesn't seem to care, and he calls Jack a crappy dad. Jack looks disappointed by this, but he tells Charlie to call his mom so she can pick him up. Charlie says he'll do that, and he immediately grabs a phone to call Lily. After Jack leaves the house, it turns out that Charlie was actually calling Burger, not Lily. Burger then suggests coming over to Jack's place so they can hang out. Charlie doesn't have a problem with this, and he looks happy to be home alone. Shortly after, Burger arrives at the house with Maya and Lizzie, and Charlie looks shocked to see the girls.
Can't forget that.
As he asks what Maya is doing there, she says that Burger invited her so she can borrow Charlie's notes for their upcoming test. After they all come in, Charlie scolds Burger for bringing the girls over. Burger says he thought it would be fun to have the girls around, but Charlie says that Maya doesn't like him. Burger says it's not true because Maya wouldn't have agreed to come. He adds that Charlie needs to calm down and ask Maya to come with him to the dance. Shortly after, Charlie sees Maya in his dad's office looking at an old picture. Maya then asks if today is his birthday, and he says it is. However, he mentions that it's not really a big deal, and Maya says she understands because birthdays with divorced parents aren't cool. Charlie then decides to apologize for what he did to her in 5th grade. Maya asks what he did, and as he tries to explain it, he moves a cup on his dad's table and causes a Newton's cradle to start moving. Almost immediately, a secret giant door appears behind him, and the kids look shocked.
Do you ladies want a sugary beverage?
Interestingly, the door can only be opened with a code, and after trying several combinations, Charlie's birthday unlocks it. After the door opens, the kids see an elevator and decide to go inside. Burger seems scared when he sees a giant red button inside, and he tells the others not to push it. However, Maya doesn't listen to him, and the elevator takes them down to the basement. As they walk out of the elevator, they look shocked to see how big the secret room is. Shortly after, they find a central computer, which shows them that the guard is currently on a mission in New Zealand. As Charlie also goes through the mission archives, he realizes that it shows everything the guard has done over the years. Charlie cannot believe this, and he says that his dad probably works for the guard. However, his friends believe he's in denial, and Maya says that Jack is the guard. Elsewhere, it turns out that Irons has been working for Argon to find the guard. After several failed attempts, Argon tells Irons that he's ready to shut down the operation. Irons says he needs more time, but Argon doesn't seem to care. Irons still insists that he can find the guard, and he talks about what happened at the crash site and how he has lost everything trying to prove what he saw.
Does the guard wear a fanny pack?
Argon says he can't keep wasting his money, and he tells Irons and his assistants that they have until the end of the week to shut down the operation. Back at the guard's secret headquarters, the kids see a large 3D printer that is capable of printing heavy materials. They also see some devices on a table, and they look quite excited to check them out. Berger then selects a magnetic wand. Maya takes a special jacket. Charlie picks up an electronic bracelet with a heads-up display, and Lizzie puts on a jetpack, which she initially mistakes for a normal backpack. While looking at his bracelet, Charlie accidentally directs an attack toward Maya, and this knocks her out, as Charlie looks scared that he has killed her.
What? No.
Maya suddenly wakes up, and the kids realize that her jacket saved her. Almost immediately, Burger shows his friends a small two-way portal that he just found. They look impressed by this, and not long after, they see the guard's G-Mobile, which has pictures of Jack and Charlie inside. Charlie then realizes that Jack is really the guard, and as he sees a cup he gifted his dad a while ago, he angrily breaks it using the force from the electronic bracelet. Maya sees this and asks what's wrong, wrong, but he just says it's nothing. Meanwhile, Berger asks Lizzie out to the dance, but she says she already has a date who is older than him. Berger looks disappointed by this, and he doesn't know what else to say. Shortly after, Maya talks about their test tomorrow, and Lizzie says she wishes she could help her friend. Almost immediately, Maya gets an idea and suggests borrowing Jack's devices so they can use them at school.
That was awesome.
The next day, they head to school with the G-Mobile, and during the test, Lizzie and Maya easily switch their papers using the two-way portal. After the test, Maya and Berger talk about how easy it was to use the portal. Just as their teacher, Miss Squint, sees them with one side of the two-way portal, Berger quickly hides it in his locker. Squint still asks what it is, but Berger says it's nothing. Shortly after, Charlie gets the baseball coach to sub him in as a pitcher to face Forrest. The coach agrees to do this, and Charlie uses the electronic bracelet to power the ball to move very fast. Everyone looks shocked by this, and Charlie eventually strikes Forrest out with 3 very fast balls. Charlie seems pleased to have taken down Forrest, and after the game, he leaves the school with his friends in the G-Mobile. Unfortunately, using Jack's devices at school makes it easy for Irons and his team to track the guard's power source to Jack's house.
You owe me a new glove!
Just as the kids reach the house, Charlie gets a message from Jack saying he won't be back till next week because he's still busy at work. When Charlie enters the secret headquarters, he sees his friends playing around with different devices. Lizzie eventually says she's going to the restroom upstairs to make a call, and after she leaves, Charlie sits with Maya. She then says it must be weird for him to know that his dad is a superhero. Charlie says it is, and that it's almost as if he doesn't know who his dad is. Meanwhile, Irons and his team arrive at the house and break in to find the guard. Back in the secret headquarters, Charlie wonders if he's that untrustworthy for his dad not to tell him about being the guard. Maya says he was definitely untrustworthy in 5th grade, and Charlie realizes that she remembers how he embarrassed her after she told him that she liked him. Charlie says he's sorry because he knows it's why she left the country, but Maya looks confused. She then mentions that she left because her mom got transferred. Back in the main house, Irons and his team find Jack's office and the secret door. As Irons sees Jack's picture, he remembers Jack and says they're in the right place.
And that's why you left the country.
After Irons and his crew manage to get through the door, they make their way down to the basement. When they get there, Maya and Charlie look shocked and quickly run away to hide. They also find Berger and inform him that there are people with guns inside the secret headquarters. Berger suggests finding a good place to hide before Jack returns, but Charlie says his dad won't be back till next week. Since they can just stay put because Lizzie is upstairs, Charlie suggests going out through the garage. Elsewhere, Irons figures out that the guard isn't around, but there's someone else in the basement. He then tells 2 of his crew members, Wisconsin and Virginia, to find the intruders while 2 others, Jersey and Hawaii, set up the signal jammers upstairs. After this, Irons puts the secret headquarters on lockdown, and the kids are unable to get to the garage.
So you do remember.
As they try to escape through another room, Charlie sees the power source and gets drawn to it. When he touches it, he sees visions of disasters that will happen around the world. He looks shocked by this, but Berger says they need to escape quickly. As Charlie takes the power source with him, Irons gets notified through the guard's central computer. He then uses a microphone to make an announcement for whoever is in the basement to give up the power source if they don't want trouble. The kids look shocked by this, but they still run away to hide. Meanwhile, Jersey calls Argonne to come over because things are starting to get complicated. After the call ends, Jersey sees Lizzie leaving the restroom. Before he can grab her, she quickly escapes and finds a place to hide. A few minutes later, Argonne arrives and meets Jersey and Hawaii in the living room. As he asks for an update, he's informed that there are intruders in the basement. When he hears that there's also a girl hiding somewhere around the house, he seems pissed and wonders what they'll do next.
Because I don't kill kids.
Jersey says he'll have to get his hands dirty, but Hawaii mentions that he didn't sign up to kill kids. Argonne says they'll only scare the kids and kill adults, and Hawaii seems okay with that. However, Argonne doesn't think Hawaii is good enough, and he tells Jersey to kill him. Lizzie looks scared when this happens, but before she finds another place to hide, Jersey sees her and points his gun at her. This gets her scared, and she quickly surrenders. As they try to ask her some questions, friends, someone rings the doorbell and Lizzie says she's expecting someone. She also begs Argon and Jersey to let her send the person away so that he won't get hurt. Even though Argon initially hesitates, he agrees to let her do this, and Lizzie opens the door to speak to Big Mac, who happens to be her date. Instead of telling him to run away, Lizzie tries to get him to call the cops, but Jersey quickly drags them inside. After they're tied up, Big Mac says he just came to check up on his date, who always hangs out with his brother and their other friends. With this, Argon realizes that the intruders are kids, and he decides to head into the secret headquarters.
He's not part of this. No one has to get hurt.
When he gets there, he asks when Irons was going to call him about finding the secret headquarters. Irons says he wanted to find the power source first, but Argon mentions that he's now in control because he has just figured out that they're dealing with kids. As he also insults Irons, the former captain gets pissed and rethinks his decision to work for Argon. Meanwhile, Berger suggests giving the bad guys the power source, but Charlie says they can't do that. Maya also supports him and suggests getting back their devices so they can stand up to the bad guys. However, before they can do this, Argon uses the microphone to tell Charlie to give up the power source if he doesn't want Lizzie and Big Mac to get hurt. Berger looks scared and tries to snatch the power source from Charlie, but this causes a serious argument between the boys, as they also say hurtful things and hit each other.
How do you expect us to do that?
Berger says he'd rather work alone than stay with Charlie. Maya looks disappointed at Charlie for the things he said, but she still works with him to grab the special jacket and the electronic bracelet, which is now dead. Meanwhile, Argon starts rigging the basement with bombs, and Berger coincidentally bumps into him. As Berger freaks out, he accidentally uses the magnetic wand to lift a chair to hit Argon. Shortly after, Maya and Charlie figure out that the power source can charge the electronic bracelet. While they're doing this, Berger shows up with an unconscious Argon, who is now tied to a chair. Charlie and Berger then apologize to each other for earlier, and Maya looks happy about this. When Argon wakes up, the kids threaten to torture him, but he thinks they're joking. As Berger then attacks him with the wand, he looks scared and tells Charlie that he wants the power source so he can harness its full power.
I don't think so.
Charlie asks why he can't just work with Jack, but Argon says that the guard is a selfish person who wants the power for himself. Elsewhere, Jack calls Lily while he's flying around as the guard. Interestingly, Lily knows that Jack is the guard, and she seems bothered that he still hasn't told Charlie about it. As they continue talking, he realizes that she never went to pick Charlie up at his house. After he sees footage from the secret headquarters, which shows that some mercenaries have broken in, he makes a U-turn and heads back to save his son. Meanwhile, Charlie makes an announcement to the mercenaries that he's ready to release Argon in exchange for his friends. When they get to the control room, Charlie asks Argon if he would let them go after collecting the power source. Argon says he will, and he gets Lizzie and Big Mac released so he can collect the power source. Charlie initially hesitates, but after he gives it to Argon, the wicked CEO tells his guards to stop the kids from leaving. He also tells Irons that they need to take the power source to his lab. Irons says they need to show the public first, but Argon doesn't want this.
Okay, wait, where's Charlie?
Almost immediately, he realizes that the power source with him is fake, but before he can do anything, the kids try to find their way out. Jersey throws a bomb in their direction, and as it explodes, it causes Charlie to lose the power source. Before Jersey can take it away, the kids decide to stay back to fight with their devices. After a while, Charlie gets back the power source, and Berger uses the two-way portal to stop Jersey from shooting or hitting him. Interestingly, as the gunshots go out through the other portal in Berger's locker, a janitor notices that something weird is happening inside, and he immediately runs away to report it to Squint. Berger and Big Mac then work together to beat up Jersey. As they try to escape with the others, Irons and his crew stop them. Irons then tells Charlie to give up the power source that his dad stole from the crash site. He adds that Jack was supposed to show everyone the power source, but he kept it to himself so he could go around portraying himself as a hero.
What did you call me?
Charlie doesn't believe this, but Irons just drags the power source away from him. Irons then sees the visions Charlie saw earlier, and he looks shocked. Argon immediately asks for the source, but Irons refuses to give it up. Argon doesn't like this, and he gets his guards to point their guns at Irons so he can drop it. After Argon gets the source, Burger uses the magnetic wand to snatch it and throws it into one side of the two-way portal. Argon looks pissed and tries to reclaim it, but Big Mac destroys the portal with the electronic bracelet. Argon cannot believe this, and he asks for the other side of the portal. The kids refuse to tell him where it is, and as he gets pissed, Jack shows up and says he's an IT guy who got an alert of a security breach. Argon doesn't believe this, and he tells Jack to open his fanny pack.
Dang it!
As he does this, he activates the arm of his suit and uses it to attack Argon's men. He also protects the kids and leads them away from the control room. Jack then tells Charlie that he's the guard, but he says he already knows. After this, Jack says he needs to find the power source to recharge his suit because it's already very low. Charlie and his friends then explain what they did with the source, and Jack looks proud of his son. As they try to find their way out, Argon suddenly knocks Charlie down while wearing another suit he found in the control room. Argon then asks the kids for the power source, and as Burger gets scared, he reveals where it is. Following this, Argon takes Burger with him and says that he's going to change the access codes in the basement so that Jack, Irons, and the kids will die down there. On the way out through the elevator, Burger steals Jersey's bomb without him knowing. When they reach Jack's office, Argon sends Jersey back into the elevator. Just then, Argon says he wants no witnesses, and he kills Jersey before destroying the elevator. Meanwhile, Jack says there's an escape hatch, but Irons shows up and says that it won't work because Argon has changed all the access codes. Charlie then comes up with an idea and tells Irons to fix up his injured dad. He also tells Lizzie to try to crack the code so they can get access to the system, while he and Maya will try to print jetpacks for everyone.
Yeah.
After the kids leave to do their assigned tasks, Jack asks Irons why he's helping him. Irons says he now knows what's at stake, and Jack realizes that he has seen the visions. Irons still believes Jack shouldn't have kept it to himself, but he mentions that he didn't want it to get into the wrong hands. As the countdown on the bomb nearly gets to 0, Lizzie cracks the code, and they all manage to leave the basement before it explodes. Just then, Irons tells Jack to take the kids to the school to retrieve the power source while he stalls the cops who have just arrived at the house. Following this, Jack drives the kids toward the school, and Charlie says sorry for what happened to the secret headquarters. Jack says his work for 10 years has gone down the drain, and Charlie says his dad should have told him about being the guard. Jack tries to make up an excuse, but Charlie asks why his dad can't be honest with him. Jack then tells Charlie to ask any question, and he asks why his parents got divorced. Jack looks surprised, but he mentions that he had to leave because he didn't want to choose between saving the world and his family. Meanwhile, Argon arrives at the school with Burger, but sees that the source isn't in the locker. As Argon seems pissed, Squint shows up and asks what's wrong. Burger says he's looking for his art project, and Squint mentions that the janitor saw it glowing earlier, so she kept it in her office. Squint wonders why Argon is so interested in it, but he just says that he's Burger's uncle. Squint realizes that he's lying, and after she brings the power source out of her office, she gives it to Burger and hits Argon in the head. As Burger runs away, Argon starts chasing him. Coincidentally, Jack has just arrived at the school, and he tells the kids to stay in the car. After he enters the school building to look for Argon, he sees Charlie's award for best effort in the school's baseball trophy case, and he looks proud of his son. Almost immediately, he sees Argon chasing Burger, and he follows them. Burger then runs into the hall where some students are dancing. Argon still manages to find Burger, but Jack suddenly shows up to confront him. Unfortunately, Jack gets beaten easily because he's without his suit, and Argon enjoys this. As Charlie notices that his dad is in trouble, he drives the G-Mobile into the school. This gets Argon distracted, and Burger throws the power source to Jack so he can recharge his suit. After this, Jack attacks Argon and knocks him out of the hall. He then thanks his son and tells him to hold the power source while he deals with Argon. As Jack then finds Argon, he beats him up badly. Argon eventually finds a way to escape, but as Jack returns to collect the power source, he shows up and threatens to kill Charlie. Jack looks scared, but Charlie tells his dad not to give up the power source. He also shows his dad the bomb on the ground, and they work together to trick Argon into taking the power source. Charlie then throws a bomb on it, and as it explodes, Argon gets sucked into a void, but the power source remains intact. Jack quickly checks up on Charlie and looks happy to see that his son is okay. He then says sorry for not being there for Charlie all these years. As they hug each other, Charlie's friends also join them.
Okay, get in the G-Mobile.
Shortly after, Lily arrives at the school and looks happy to see that Charlie didn't get hurt. Charlie then realizes that his mom knows about Jack being the guard. Almost immediately, Charlie decides to ask Maya to dance with him, and she gladly accepts. As they dance together, Lily and Jack look happy and join them on the dance floor. A while later, Jack takes Charlie camping again, and as they prepare their food, they get an alert that they're needed somewhere. Before Charlie runs into their old G-Mobile, Jack shows him the new one, and he looks amazed. As they enter the van, Irons shows up on a screen and now appears to work for the guard as mission control. He then asks if they're ready for the next mission, and Jack says they are. Following this, Jack hits a button to power up the G-Mobile to speed away. After Charlie's dad becomes too busy to spend time with him, he concludes that he has a crappy dad. However, he's unaware that Jack is now a popular superhero who is fighting crime around the world. Charlie eventually figures this out, and when some bad guys try to steal his dad's power source, he and his friends work together to stop them until Jack arrives to save the day. Jack then realizes his mistake and admits that his busy schedule shouldn't have made him neglect his family. In this story, we learn that no matter how important your job is, family should always come first.